The 2023 season didn't start as planned for Mercedes, and while everyone hopes that the team won't go through the same pain and gain process like they did in 2022, that is likely to be the outcome of the current season as well. No matter how much we hope to see Mercedes take it up to 6th gear and see another legendary battle between Hamilton and Verstappen, the team came out with an official announcement that what they're going through now is something that the fans need to process and understand that it's the reality of the team. Ever since the W14 hit the track in Bahrain during the pre-season testing, it was evident that while the porpoising wasn't great, the 2023 Challenger will face other issues that will present a huge challenge to overcome as time passes by. Two of the biggest issues were increased drag and reduced stability, and after the first race of the season at the exact same place where Mercedes found out about its issues and showed us that the pace is way off, and there are teams like Aston Martin that actually caught up to Mercedes, the team is about to experience an array of changes in the near future. Yet, these changes do not promise that the team will be competitive and make the battle for the championship more interesting, given the fact that Red Bull and Ferrari already made enormous progress with the concept that they adopted prior to the beginning of the 2022 season. And keep in mind that the budget cap does not allow F1 teams to spend as much money as they want in terms of developing a new car, even though Wolff said that the financial restriction won't pose any challenge for the Silver Arrows in terms of building a competitive car. One thing is for sure, the design of the W14 will change, but the team is far from positive that the reality of the 2023 season will change in any positive way for them. Wolff was praising Aston Martin, a team that buys engines from them and other car parts as well, for doing a massive step in car development, and that maybe Mercedes can learn a thing or two about the team that finished 7th in the Constructors' Championship last year. Keep in mind that Aston Martin was also labelled as a copycat back in 2020 when they bought the entire concept of Mercedes' car when the regulations weren't as strict as they are now. What Mercedes has realised after the first race of the season is that they're not done with developing the car, while other teams are already trying to exploit the maximum they have out of the 2023 Challengers. Before you start shooting me in the comments, please keep in mind that we're just the messengers here, as we're transferring a message from Mercedes' team to their fans. The last thing we'd want is to see Hamilton deprived of the 8th championship like this, but as Mercedes said, this is the reality we live in and we have to adapt to it. In an official statement on their website, the team wrote, "Bahrain hurt. It hurt each one of us. We head into every season determined to fight for world championships. It hurt the team as a whole after pouring so much hard work into a car that hasn't met our expectations. As we know, it hurt you, our fans, too. Your passion and support are so important in driving us forward, and we know that we feel the same pain." A similar opinion was shared by Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, with both Britons saying that the situation they're facing now is the last thing they'd want to face after the troublesome 2022 season. But it's the reality they have to work on. The simple questions that the 7-time world champion and one of the most potential drivers on the grid are asking themselves right now, in their own words, are what can we do about it and what will we do about it? Who should be blamed for what currently happens to Mercedes? As much as this pains Mercedes fans and as much as they want to point fingers at other teams and the regulations, the reality is simple. Mercedes got it wrong from day one. That's what Hamilton said, and that's what the results are showing as well. The no-pod side-pod design looked so revolutionary and so mind-blowing that every expert out there said that the 2022 season is over before it even started. People were claiming that Hamilton would be the champion in 2022 and that the battle wouldn't even be close, just because the W13 looked vastly different compared to the other competitors. But ever since the first race in 2022, it's been evident that Mercedes is not in the right spot, and fighting for a podium finish was definitely not the mindset that Hamilton and Russell had in mind prior to entering the season. Therefore, the logical thing, as Hamilton also said, would have been for Mercedes to go with a brand new design and ditch the side-pod design that they labelled as innovative. However, the team didn't listen to him. To which he added that he knows what a car needs and what it doesn't need, due to his experience of winning races and championships. So, Mercedes does have the ability to bounce back and be better, but it's very unlikely that this will happen in the near future as the team continue to speak. Yes, it's very painful that they got beaten by Aston Martin in the first race of the season, but so did Ferrari. And the more humiliating fact is that the customer company has beaten the company it buys the engines from. This is something that 1996's champion Damon Hill, who was very pro-Mercedes oriented in the past, has also shared with the public, and it seems like everyone has started to turn their supportive back on Mercedes and started praising Red Bull for understanding how an F1 car should work under the ground effect regulations. The Silver Arrows continued with their statement as they added, "First, we won't panic or make knee-jerk reactions. In a spotlight as fierce as F1, people are quick to point fingers or look for scapegoats, but you know us better than that. Inside the team, we talk about having the courage to fail, the character to be accountable, and the strength to see failure as opportunity. We have been open and searingly honest about where we find ourselves, and we are working urgently and calmly to build our recovery plan." But the optimism is still there, because Mercedes is already working on a new concept that will see the spotlight in 2023, much earlier than originally anticipated. The first upgrades were supposed to happen in Imola, but after the fiasco in Bahrain, we're more likely to see Mercedes competitive even earlier than Italy. And one thing that the team can definitely utilise towards the goal is the time that they have to spend in the wind tunnels. Remember that thanks to the sporting penalty given to Red Bull, Mercedes has around 17% more time to spend in the wind tunnel facilities and CFDs. And according to Mark Hughes, this is exactly where all the problems can be solved. One direct proof of that is the battle with Aston Martin, because on the mechanical side of things, these two teams are practically the same. But the concept and design of the W14 and the AMR23 differ so much to the advantage of the green Red Bull, as Aston Martin was recently labelled. The Silver Arrows have sent a strong message to their fans, saying that in times like this, it's evident that the most loyal and strongest fans will remain supporting the team, while the ones that were here just because the team was winning races and decided to jump ship at the first inconvenience, the team will have no hard feelings towards them at all. Whether you're offering criticism or support, there's a right way to do it, and a wrong way. We want our online community to be a safe place full of healthy debate, where people treat others and are treated with respect, be they team members, Mercedes fans, or rival fans. Are you ready to join us for the fight back? If not, there are no hard feelings. If yes, then let's do this. It's going to be a very interesting period ahead for Mercedes, one that the fans may not enjoy after every race due to the outcome, but will definitely enjoy in terms of the team finding progress and unlocking more and more pace as time passes by. Sure, Hamilton may not live to lift the 8th record-breaking championship in the next 2 years, something that the media wants to portray as the main reason why the Briton hasn't yet signed the extension with Mercedes. But with Norris being available in 2025 and beyond, the future is bright for Mercedes. Not that the 2023 season and the upcoming one aren't going to be something to look forward to, but it's evident that the team has opted to rebuild their car, and this can be a painful process to go through. What do you think about Mercedes' statement? Do you think that they can be competitive prior to Hamilton's retirement? Let us know in the comments below.